A female narcissist doesn't come at you with rage. A narcissistic woman comes at you with charm. Not the kind of charm that wins you over, but the kind that disarms you quietly, methodically, until you don't even realize how deep you are in. That's the danger of a covert female narcissist. And today, I'm going to expose all 7 faces a narcissist uses to control, confuse, and break good men. Because the truth is, a narcissist doesn't destroy you all at once. A narc does it piece by piece. Behind a smile, behind fake vulnerability, behind fake empathy. And on this podcast episode might be hard to hear, but if you stay with me to the end, you'll never see her the same way again. Welcome to the Narc Free Man podcast. Welcome back to the Narc Free Man podcast. I'm your host, Phillip Dugas. Before we dive in, I looked at the analytics and over 80% of the men watching this haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet. So brother, if that's you, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel was built for you. Every week, I drop new content that helps men like you get clarity, reclaim your confidence, and rebuild your life after narcissistic abuse. All right, let's get into it. In this video, we are exposing the 7 faces of the female covert narcissist. These are the masks she wears depending on what she wants: validation, control, pity, or supply. And the scary part is she doesn't switch faces randomly. She switches them with precision, like a sniper, each one designed to hit you where you are most vulnerable. This is how she hooks you. The female narcissist comes in like a healer. She notices your wounds before you even speak them. She listens. She nods. She says all the right words. Like, you have been through so much. I never treat you like that. I just want to love you the way you deserve. You have never felt so understood. It feels spiritual, redemptive even. But what's really happening? She's collecting data. She's studying your pain points, your past heartbreaks, your insecurities, your family wounds. And later, she'll use every single one of them against you. One man messaged me and said, "Phil, she used to hold my face in her hands and tell me God sent her to heal me. Now she uses my faith as a weapon, saying, if you were a real Christian man, you'd forgive me." That's the savior face. It's the ultimate disguise, because who questions someone who claims to be your rescue? She never came to heal you. She came to own you, to control you. Here's some examples of what that looks like. She'll mirror your language, your beliefs, and your dreams. She'll agree with everything early on. She rushes emotional intimacy. She makes you feel like you are finally safe. And then when you relax, when you let your guard down, she begins to rewrite the rules of the relationship. That's when you start hearing things like, "You are so lucky I stayed through your issues. You don't realize how much I've sacrificed for you." That's not love, that's emotional debt, and she's keeping score. Here's the twist. The same woman who once said she came to heal you will later accuse you of being broken beyond repair. Let's talk about the second face, when she plays the victim. So now that she's got your empathy, she switches faces. This is where the covert narcissist thrives, in victimhood. She'll tell stories about her cruel ex, her traumatic childhood, her manipulative boss, and you, being the good man that you are, you step into protector mode. You think, she's been through enough. I'll be the one who doesn't hurt her. Now that's how she locks you in. Another guy DM'd me recently and said, she said every man before me abused her. So anytime I called out her behavior, she'd start crying and say, "You are just like them." And it worked. I'd back down every time just to avoid being the bad guy. That's the victim face. It's emotional manipulation disguised as pain. It triggers your compassion so she can control you through guilt. Every conflict ends with her crying or shutting down. She weaponizes trauma. She turns every boundary you set into proof that you are heartless. She plays helpless so you'll overfunction. And when you finally have enough and start pulling away, she'll say things like, "I knew you'd leave like everyone else," or "I guess I was right. Love isn't real." That's not sadness. That's all strategy. The female covert narcissist doesn't need to yell to manipulate you. She just needs to make you feel like the villain for protecting your peace. And when you fall for the victim face, you start believing that your compassion is cruelty. You start apologizing for things you never did. And that's how the narcissist wins. Not through dominance, but through distortion. Now let's talk about face number 3, the perfect partner. This one gets every man because it starts as everything you ever wanted. The laughter, the chemistry, the late night talks where she swears, "You are different from the rest." So you start thinking, maybe this is it. Maybe I finally found peace. But that peace, it's bait. She mirrors your soul back to you. Same music, same values, same dreams. You are not falling in love with her. You are falling in love with yourself reflected in her performance. One guy told me, "Phil, she used to call me her soulmate. Now she calls me selfish for needing space." That's how it flips. The perfect partner face turns to control the second you attach. She starts managing your time, your hobbies, even how you talk. It's subtle, like, "I just miss you when you go to the gym," or "You don't need to hang out with those friends. They are toxic." And before you know it, the man you were starts fading. Female narcissist doesn't steal your freedom by force. She gets you to hand it over willingly in the name of love. So here's what it looks like. Rapid intimacy, like commitment talk within weeks. Pressure to share passwords and locations with her. Criticism disguised as concern. Disapproval of anything that builds your independence. She creates a false unity that only works when you play small. Brother, the moment you shrink your life to fit hers, you stop becoming a partner and become a possession. Face number 4 is the critic. The mask slips here. Now she starts to chip away at you openly. At first, it's jokes like, "You are so sensitive." Then it's comparisons. "Why can't you be more like him?" And eventually, it's character assassination. Her goal is simple: make you doubt your value so you'll work harder for her approval. Here's another example from a DM a guy sent me. He said, "Phil, she used to compliment me in front of my friends. Then the next day she'd say, 'Don't get cocky, you are not that great.' It messed with my head so bad, I stopped believing anyone who said I was doing well." That's psychological conditioning, reinforcement, and rejection on a loop. So here's more examples of what that looks like. Get backhanded compliments, sarcasm used as a weapon, public humiliation followed by private love bomb apologies, rewriting history to prove you were never enough. She makes you earn love like a reward system. The narcissist will say she's helping you improve, but what she really is doing is erasing you and rebuilding you into someone she can dominate. Confidence is fuel for a man. When she destroys it, you become easy to control. That's why the critic face is one of the most dangerous. It breaks you down from the inside out. Let's get into face number 5, the martyr. When you start pulling away, the female narcissist plays the martyr. Suddenly, she's the one who sacrifices everything. She'll say, "After everything I've done for you," or "I gave you my best years," or "I'm the only one whoever tried. That's not love, that's emotional blackmail. One man told me, Phil, she used to remind me every day that she paid the bills when I was down bad. Every argument ended with, you owe me. That's not support, that's debt collecting. What it looks like is constant reminders of what she's done for you, playing the victim when you don't meet her expectations, or no one else would put up with you type of comments. She wants you to associate leaving her with being ungrateful, and she'll bleed just enough to make you feel guilty for letting her cut you. Guilt is her leash. The moment you cut it, she loses control. Face number 6, the Ice Queen. This is where you see the emotional coldness of narcissistic personality disorder in full form. When the narcissist realizes her old tactics don't work anymore, she withdraws completely. No affection, no warmth, no acknowledgement. This is the silent treatment phase, but it's not about space, it's about punishment. Here's an example a guy told me recently. He said that she used to walk past him in the house like he was invisible for days. Then when he finally asked what was wrong, she said, if you don't know, then you are not the man I thought you were. That's psychological warfare. You can't win because the rules keep changing. Now here's what that looks like. You'll get long periods of cold distance. She'll withhold affection as a power move. She'll use silence to trigger you into chasing her. The female narcissist doesn't scream typically. She starves you of love until you beg for crumbs she used to give freely. The truth is, her coldness is not about reflection or self-care. It's a test of how much you'll tolerate. Every time you chase her silence, you teach her that disrespect works. Face number 7, the mirror. This is the final face. It's also the most dangerous face of a female narcissist. The mirror is how she survives after you leave. She starts copying your growth. Suddenly, she's posting about healing, boundaries, self-love, and faith. She'll quote the very things you said to her. Why? Because she's building a new mask for her next supply. Here's another example from a DM a guy sent me. He said, Phil, 3 months after I left her, she started a YouTube channel about toxic relationships using the same phrases I used to coach myself out of hers. That's not healing, that's harvesting. The female covert narcissist doesn't want closure. She wants a comeback story where she's the hero and you are the villain. The truth is, you can't beat the mirror by exposing her. You win by outgrowing her. When you stop engaging, you become unusable to her narcissistic supply cycle. So let's recap, brother. The 7 faces of the female covert narcissist. Number 1, the savior. She mirrors your pain to earn your trust. Number 2, the victim. She weaponizes your empathy. Number 3, the perfect partner. She hooks you with illusion. Number 4, the critic. She erodes your confidence. Number 5, the martyr. She uses guilt as a leash. Number 6, the ice queen. She punishes you with the silent treatment. Number 7, the mirror. She recycles your identity for her next target. But here's the truth you need to hear today. She doesn't have the final say in your story. Your healing does. You reclaim your power when you stop trying to make her see what she'll never understand and start focusing on building the man you were meant to be. A 2.0 version of yourself. If this episode hit home and you want the next step in your recovery journey, check out my course, Break Free and Rebuild, on my website, phillipcdugas.com. Until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and stay narc free.